First on Fox tonight, a fatal ending after a struggle with Hartford police officers. Good to have you along tonight. I'm Matt Scott. The victim is only being identified tonight as a 26-year-old man. It started, according to police, after a disturbance call. And when he became violent towards them, they say they had no choice but to pull out a taser. But there is much more to this story. We get it now tonight from Fox Connecticut's Mike Krafsik. All right, we have a developing story tonight from the capital city where multiple ambulances are responding to the Xfinity Theater for reports of alcohol intoxication. We are told that at least 20 ambulances are on the scene at the J. Cole hip hop concert, and 8 regional hospitals are on standby. All of this coming on the heels of other troubles at J. Cole concerts. As recently as last week, on Monday, during a tour stop in central New Jersey, 2 men were hospitalized, left in critical condition, that after a shooting that happened after the show. To Greenwich now, and an awful story on the tracks of Metro North after a Stanford woman killed in a freak commuter train accident one day before she would have turned 29 years old. A spokesman for Metro North telling Fox Connecticut tonight, Tamar Lewis was sitting on the platform of the Coscob station, dangling her legs over the edge. They go on to say the engineer of an oncoming train saw her, blasted the horn, and tried to slow down. The noise apparently startling Lewis, causing her to drop her purse. And this is the stunning part. She went onto the tracks to get it and was killed instantly. The New Haven-bound train had not been scheduled to stop at Coscob. We have a number of car accidents to talk about tonight, and we'll start in East Hartford, where Friday night, just minutes apart, 2 people were killed in separate vehicle crashes. 26-year-old Carmen Redding Hall hit a guardrail on I-84 near exit 55 after losing control of his motorcycle. Now, just 5 minutes later, police say 20-year-old Brandon Gothberg lost control of his SUV on Route 2, striking an overhead traffic sign. A man who died after crashing head-on with a dump truck in Coventry yesterday has been identified as a 31-year-old man from Glastonbury. Cops say Brandon Laura was driving westbound on Route 6 near South Street when he collided with the truck. The driver of the dump truck was not seriously injured. Witnesses are being asked to call police. And a 39-year-old man from Hartford is recovering from serious injuries tonight after crashing into a UPS tractor trailer on I-91 this morning. The crash happening around 3:30 near exit 26. The preliminary police investigation reports that Kevin Russell hit the back tires of the tractor trailer, causing his car to become airborne and roll several times. He was ejected from the car. No word on the extent of his injuries. The driver of the UPS truck was not hurt. Well, you know the drill. When it comes to the Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV, bring your patience with you. Today, that was mandatory thanks to a big plan to eventually speed things up at a place not normally known for its quick service. To avoid a massive rush to the DMV in the days leading up to the close, the state has extended the expiration date of any driver's licenses, ID cards, or vehicle registrations that expire this coming week. Well, no long lines for complaints in the weather office. On the Weather Watch, it was a beautiful day today. The question for the back half of the weekend, can we do it again? And for that, we turn to meteorologist Sam Samperi. He's joining us live in the Weather Center. Hi, Sam. Sam, thank you. We are just getting started with the Fox Connecticut News at 10 o'clock. A shocking discovery in a Vermont farmhouse as police find 3 women shot to death. Who police are blaming and why. The latest on the investigation coming up.
I disinvited Donald Trump.
Another day, another backlash for the presidential hopeful Donald Trump. What got the real estate tycoon booted from a big GOP gathering? And is the Dump Trump movement getting louder?
This was the scariest 10 minutes of my life.
What is she talking about? Wait till you see what made her and other passengers on a flight out of Boston pray for their lives. We're back right after this. Back now, and an investigation underway in Berlin, Vermont, after 3 people were found dead inside this farmhouse Saturday morning. All 3 females who lived at the home are related to a woman who shot and killed a social worker in a neighboring town yesterday. Police say Jody Herring killed the DCF worker because she was upset about losing custody of her daughter. Herring is currently in custody, being held on first-degree murder charges. There's new information tonight about a fiery plane crash in upstate New York that left 4 people dead. NTSB investigators say no distress call was made before it went down in the Adirondack Mountains. The Piper PA-46 plane crashed just a few minutes after taking off from the regional airport about 50 miles south of the Canadian border. The identities of the passengers on board have not been released. And this is stunning. Look at the nose and windshield of this airplane. Passengers calling it the scariest 10 minutes of their lives. A Delta flight headed from Boston to Salt Lake City got stuck in a hailstorm, forcing pilots to make an emergency landing in Denver. And it's a good thing they made that landing when they did.
I fly constantly, and this was the scariest 10 minutes of my life.
Then we went around the corner, and from the window we could see the shattered windshield. We could see kind of a hole over the engine where lightning had struck. We could see the nose of the plane was missing. I mean, it was really intense.
That's an understatement. Pilots made the landing blind with the help of air traffic controllers. It was a flawless landing and no one was injured. The FAA is currently investigating. To Northern California now, and a wildfire that's charred more than 3 dozen homes and more than 100 square miles. Now it's mostly smoke and embers. The blaze, 62% contained thanks to cooler weather. Crews are now concentrating on dousing hot spots. Most of the 1,200 people forced from their homes by the July 29th blaze have been allowed to return. Pennsylvania's Attorney General is dealing with legal problems of her own tonight. Kathleen Kane arraigned this morning on charges of leaking secret grand jury information to a newspaper. Investigators say she did all of it just to get even with a former state prosecutor and then lied about it. The 49-year-old is the first woman and first Democrat to be elected as the state's Attorney General. She maintains her innocence despite calls for her to resign. Kane is due before a judge later this month. Riots, violence, clashes that made a Midwestern suburb look more like a war zone. Tomorrow marks 1 year since Michael Brown was killed by a white police officer in Ferguson, Missouri, sparking weeks of unrest, not just in Ferguson, but across the country. In the time that has passed since the shooting of the unarmed teen, the city has made some changes. The business district at the center of the protest is slowly rebuilding. The police has a new police chief, a new city manager, and a new municipal judge. City council also has new members, and Ferguson officers now wear body cameras. Now today, about 200 people gathered at the site of Brown's death. Michael Brown's father also spoke at a parade in his son's honor, saying he and his family are still mourning. Another day seems like another controversy in the Donald Trump camp. First, his top political advisor, Roger Stone, is out. Trump's campaign says that he was fired, but Stone says he quit. And Republicans are gathering for one of the biggest events of the year, but Donald Trump isn't there. He has been banned over unflattering comments he made about Fox News debate moderator Megyn Kelly. We get more tonight from reporter Andy Rose. If it's possible, Donald Trump will lay low the rest of the weekend. His next public event is scheduled for Tuesday. As for the open spot vacated by Trump at the Red State gathering, Erickson has invited Megyn Kelly. And here's a presidential day trip. The president is yelling for, not 4 more years, but on the golf course. We'll show you where he was and who he was teeing up with. And coming up on the Xfinity Sports Desk, Game 2 of the big Yankees-Jays series was a pitcher's duel until Justin Smoak stepped to the plate. Bobby Rumbold and the Xfinity Sports Desk crew are warming up. Back with more coming up. That right there, President Obama teeing off on his first full day of vacation on Martha's Vineyard. The commander-in-chief playing around with actor-comedian Larry David, along with businessman and campaign fundraiser Robert Wolf. A cousin of a top Obama advisor completed a foursome. The president is scheduled to return to the White House on August 23rd. Porgies, sea bass, bluefish tonight, all on our weekly series Day Trippers. Rock and Roll Charters in Clinton takes visitors into famed fishing ground just 10 minutes from the dock. Fox Connecticut's Sarah Cody has a real good time sport fishing. Rock and Roll Charters offers 3 trips a day from May through August. For more information, including rates, all you got to do is log on to foxct.com, and that's /daytrippers. We'll get you there. Still to come, New York City health officials fanning out across the city to combat a deadly outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. How the new tactics are pitting two departments against each other, that coming up next. And you could say the day really went to the dogs in Branford. How this family fun event is benefiting the community. A raining cats and dogs forecast? For the answer, here's Sam Samperi. We have some breaking news just into the Connecticut's newsroom. A 52-year-old motorcyclist killed while riding through Portland today. Investigators say he was riding along a section of Woodchoppers Road around 3 o'clock. No word yet on specifics surrounding the accident or the driver's identity. Medical investigators have been deployed in New York this weekend in hopes of pinpointing the source of a deadly outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. So far, at least 10 people have died from the disease, and as Ellen Marks reports, the state is now stepping in with its own plan to help battle the deadliest outbreak in the city's history. Jobs on the mind of many in Enfield today. Several people dropping off their resumes at the Aldi store on Hazard Avenue. Today's job fair, part of a month-long national employment push to fill more than 2,500 positions across the U.S. Store associates start around $12 an hour, managers getting $25 an hour.
They offer their employees competitive wages along with their corporate social responsibility, which goes a long way, which we have to protect the people that we're around. And I just love Aldi from growing up and going to the store and just offering cheap prices and everything.
The supermarket is looking to add positions at stores across the state. Now, if you missed out on today's job fair, not to worry. 2 more will be held on August 17th and 18th in Glastonbury and West Haven. For times and locations, head on over to foxct.com. It was a day for the dogs, literally, in Branford. Money raised from Woofstock on the Green goes back to the animal shelter to rescue, rehab, and rehome pets. The Woofstock Hippie Dog Costume Contest, bands, vendors, face painting, all available for families.
Branford and the Shoreline, we're lucky, is a very pet-friendly community. And everybody comes out, and all of our sponsors, our vendors, all of our guests, to participate and help rescue these animals.
A great event to give back to the shelters. A great afternoon for it, too. For more on that and what we have for Sunday, here's Sam Samperi on the Weather Watch. Very cool couple of days ahead.
Yes.
We can handle 1 day of humidity.
1 day, maybe in about 2 weeks.
That's right. Sam, thank you. Still to come tonight, Connecticut kids will be headed back to the classroom before you know it. How to get them off on the right foot and save some money before you do it. That's coming up next. Stay with us. Oh, it's getting to be that time of year. Students may not be excited, but parents are. The new school year is right around the corner. Fox Connecticut's Lauren Victory takes a look at what you should be doing now to get ahead of the curve. Thank you, Lauren. Just in time for back-to-school shopping. Tax-free week is coming up soon. Connecticut shoppers get a break the week of August 16th to 22nd. There will be no tax on clothing and shoes that week. Massachusetts is also taking part in the tax relief holiday next weekend. Well, just when you upgraded, tonight there are rumors that Apple will be out with its latest gadget in just 1 month. We have the details. They are coming up next. Time to get online and camp out again. It looks like Apple is ready to debut a new iPhone. Now, according to BuzzFeed, Apple will likely unveil its newest generation of mobile phones on September 9th. No one has confirmation yet, but the phone is expected to include a better camera, a faster processor, and other upgrades. Well, they always say that. BuzzFeed is also reporting that Apple may introduce a new version of the iPad with a 12.9-inch display. No, it's not a fad diet, and thank goodness for this one. Buffalo Bills coach Rex Ryan found a rough way to raise awareness of the SPCA. Rough way. The dog-eat-dog details are next. Well, talk about taking one for the team. Buffalo Bills head coach Rex Ryan chowed down on dog biscuits this week, and thankfully it was all for a good cause.
Oh, that's terrific. I'm going to get one more, I think. Yeah, that's outstanding.
I'm glad one of us thinks so. Ryan says he was challenged to scarf down dog treats to help raise awareness about the SPCA's mission and animal rights. He said, based on his name Rex, he was happy to chow down on a dog treat. For the taste, he says, a little dry. Don't make the joke. I know you're making the joke.
No, I'm not going to say anything.
Let's go over here.
Yeah.
You can't make any jokes about this either, Bobby Rumbold.
Why not?
No.
I'm in the sports department.